Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.
If you build it, he will.
It's the Skinny on Sports Podcast with Aaron Cowk.
I throw balls far. You want good words? Data language.
Talk real sports with a real man.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
And now, here's the be-all, end-all, know-it-all of high school, college, and pro sports. Aaron Skinny Cowk with the Skinny on Sports.
We're talking about practice, man. I'm the MVP.
And a Garrison Financial Friday out there, Western Oklahoma. Welcome to the Skinny on Sports, right here on 98.1 FM. The sports animal, as Scott comes rushing through the door right at post time. I was just kind of nobody heard that.
He came in like Kramer. That's right.
I was just checking my phone, wondering if I'd missed a text, and then Cosmo came flying through the door. So welcome to the Skinny on Sports here on a Memorial Day weekend Friday. Scott's in the house.
I'm not going to wear the ribbon.
Huh?
You're not going to wear the ribbon? He's not going to wear the ribbon. Hey, I'm here, aren't I?
We're up to a great start. Coming up on the show.
We got to be careful. We could quote Seinfeld the entire hour.
Yeah, that's very true. Memorial Day weekend plans. What's everybody's plan? And most importantly, I think most people feel like this is the official kind of start to summer, which also means firing up the grill. So what is on your menu for the weekend? Bedlam baseball round 6 coming up after the Sooners blow a huge opportunity, not only in the Big 12 tournament, but to secure, I think, an at-large bid into the national tournament. So now they may have to win that one. Don't look now. But I'm going to make a wild prediction after what I saw last night.
You've already made one.
Well, number 2 coming.
Man.
Number 2 is coming. Also, exciting times in college golf. OU has just teed off out in Scottsdale in the national tournament. Also, Oklahoma Christian is playing for the title today in Division II. And it's an interesting format that I don't know if I've ever really heard of. I'll tell you about that. Michael Block. Is the Michael Block story over? Eesh. You know, he said some pretty crazy things this week. I'm afraid the golfing gods are putting him back into his place. The Dallas Stars stay alive. Oh, Jared, who won that basketball game last night?
Got to win 2 more, brother.
Got to win 2 more.
more.
I'm going to give you a chance to get out of your bet.
Sending me burrito emojis at like 9:45 at night.
I'll give you a chance to get out of your bet. And then right here off the top, I want to ask you guys, Barry Trammell wrote a pretty interesting article that I just read this morning about OU in Texas and the Big Ten. And kind of the ways that the problems the Big Ten's having with their TV contract could have been alleviated by those 2 schools joining, and would have been better off for OU and Texas to go there, better off for the Big Ten to get them, as opposed to UCLA and USC. I think it's an interesting discussion that we can have right off the top. 225-9698 is the phone to the text line. 225-9698. Give us a call, shoot us a text, talk about everything, whatever you want to talk about. I wanted to talk about Phil and Brandel Chambly. A little Twitter dispute last night. That was pretty entertaining. There's all kinds of stuff out there. How's everybody today?
Doing good.
I'm great.
First
Are
off,
we actually going to get through a day without rain?
I don't think so. It's just right out there.
Is it?
Yeah, it's coming this way. We got to start. I promised you I would let you talk about your great drives on a couple of holes on Tuesday night. And so we'll start there. So Tuesday night in the scramble, Scott was right behind. His team was right behind my team, and it got pretty slow there toward the end. So we decided, you know what, let's basically play together and break the rules. And so we did. And on the first hole was number 3, and Scott just spanked it down there. And we were all amazed at Brooks Robertson's tee shot right before y'all got there. And then I look up, and Scott's hitting it right down there, kind of where Brooks hits it. How did you do that?
It's called 1 out of 10.
So what you're telling me is you wasted both of your good tee shots for next weekend at the Oil and Gas on back-to-back holes.
No, I'll play at least another 15 to 20 holes, this week. So maybe I'll have
reload.
Get a couple for Keener and Roy and Chance for Oil and Gas. They maybe they won't have to just completely grab me and carry me to the finish line. I don't know. We'll see.
Keener was hitting some pretty good ones too.
Yeah, for a Sayre kid.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of the way that goes.
Zinger.
And then also, most improved award, just on those 2 holes, went to Kyle Tosh. Kyle Tosh's tee shot on number 3 did not make it to the Reds, to the old ladies' tee.
That's rough.
Yeah,
that's rough.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
But his next one, he actually hit it.
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
Did pretty good.
Down number 4. And of course, neither one of us were on the winning team, so we were basically just losers.
Didn't matter
at the end of it.
Yeah.
Have you got to play with Caleb this summer? Caleb Keith?
He can smoke it.
That's what Logan told me. Logan can kill it.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, we used one of my drives.
Yeah.
And the only reason was because Caleb hit it in the water next to the green on number 6. That's the only reason we got to use one of my drives.
That's pretty deep.
I guess he can rip it. Okay, so Barry Trammell today. He came out, basically just a what if. And scenario being, what if OU and Texas would have went to the Big Ten? And he posed the question, would Oklahoma and Texas be better off at the Big Ten versus going to the SEC? What say you, Scott?
Absolutely not. That's an easy answer. Ask Nebraska.
The text line, I love that. I love that.
I'm done.
Sorry.
That's the end
Sorry.
of my. That's the end of my answer.
We're not ignoring you. Just the text line. Just remember when you can go play a scramble and play bad, and no one talked about it on the radio. Pepperidge Farm remembers. That's good. Notice I didn't say anything because I'd have nothing.
Hey, wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Both people we were mentioned there, Scott and
most
Kyle.
Improved.
Yeah, well,
Gave him an award.
Listen,
Yeah,
he told me to talk about it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
didn't talk bad. I didn't hear anything bad.
You gave the guy an award.
Of
on
course
the
I did.
radio.
Yeah,
I bet that's the first radio award he's ever received.
no doubt about it.
See now,
I mean, listen, if it would have been yesterday at the firefighters tournament, and I'd have seen him do that, you know what I'd have given him? The McDonald's player of the game, because McDonald's was the title sponsor basically of that tournament.
Yeah,
he got to be the McDonald's player of the game,
and
for
then
that.
He's upset.
Yeah, well,
you see how it works in radio, Scott? We can say nothing but nice
Thankless
things,
job.
but people will turn it around into saying that we said something bad about them.
see, now this reminds me of a couple of weeks ago when you and I were more making fun of Jared's golf game than Joe Wynn's golf game, and then the first time I see Joe, he's going, really? Talking trash about my game on the radio? And I said, you obviously didn't listen, did you? Well, I didn't hear you that morning. Well, go back and listen. We were not talking trash about you. We're really more making fun of Jared's golf game than yours.
That's why there's a podcast.
That's right.
You can find it.
And here's what he said. Well, the only one that's not up there from the last 2 weeks was that one.
Oh, no, really?
Well,
what he
someone
said.
had to get to Edmond in a hurry. I can't do everything at once, so
Anyway,
it got up there. It's
see,
there
that's-
now. But yeah,
people
now
hear.
they're upset.
they hear what they want to
They hear what they want to hear,
they
not
do.
what we say.
They do.
So you say no. I think it's an interesting debate.
Why?
I think there's academic things that don't go into football.
Well, first of all, that the Big Ten would have told Oklahoma to kick rocks
Well,
as far as the academic side goes.
That's part of it because they're not an AAU school at the moment. Do you think the Big Ten would have been better off with OU and Texas versus UCLA and USC?
Absolutely.
Jared?
Yeah, I agree.
From a TV standpoint.
I agree.
And
at the
from
time,
a recruiting pipeline that it would open up for the rest of the Big Ten.
are we going back to the what if the timeline here? So when is that timeline?
Back to instead of choosing the SEC, they choose
Okay. Yeah.
the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Just 2 summers. Was that 2 summers ago?
Yeah. Because with the immediate, even though Texas wasn't winning, that brand is still big. OU was winning, the brand is big. USC, UCLA, you kind of went,
Well, one of those
but
is
the-
not like
the
the other
immediate-
4 or the other 3.
Yeah.
USC can hold they can stand in the ring with OU and Texas from a brand standpoint.
Well,
UCLA
yeah.
cannot.
No. But
No, but I agree with what you're saying too. It would have. It actually, Nebraska would have loved that, right? They get more inroads back into Texas.
Nebraska. There was one reason why Nebraska left the Big 12.
Well, yeah, that's
was Texas,
and then they'd be right back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, this Big Ten with USC and UCLA. I mean, talk about TV rights nightmare. I mean, so you're gonna have a 7 a.m. kickoff for USC on the East Coast?
The big part of this is, and I didn't. We talked about it the other day. I didn't realize it's called. God, what was that word that they used? Allowances, or it wasn't allowances. Tolerances. So that if you notice, once the calendar turns into November, the Big Ten didn't play night games.
Huh.
Think about it.
Yeah, they only play afternoon games.
That's right.
Their biggest games are afternoon
Yeah,
games.
Absolutely.
Especially in November when it's OU or
Ohio State, Michigan is always early.
Yeah.
Never at night. And that's because they've set this up. They're called tolerances to where they don't play November night games. So OU and Texas obviously alleviate some of that because of geography, as does UCLA and USC. But even better for the Big Ten, I think, would have been in this time zone instead of 2 time zones away. So, if you're the California those 2 schools, you get a home game, but are you starting at 4? Mm-hmm. So it's 7 o'clock, and so is that even really a night game? Whereas right here, this is interesting.
Start a 7 p.m. kickoff on the West Coast.
Yeah, you're 10 o'clock on the East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of things here. You realize, do you have any idea how far it is? You know what the closest school in the Big Ten is to UCLA and USC?
Is it Minnesota?
Is Wisconsin closer than Nebraska?
Nebraska.
No.
It's
Yeah,
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know how far that is?
Oh, gosh.
Just a skosh under 1,500 miles.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got Rutgers.
Jack Christian can't even run that.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to put it past him. But then you got Rutgers in the shadow of New York City
Yeah.
and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I
Los
think
Angeles could fly to China.
faster than they get to Rutgers.
That's the way they might go.
Yeah. So Norman and Lincoln are 424 miles apart versus 1,500. I would love to know, like, the behind the scenes 30 for 30 whenever this gets released about all of this stuff. I would love to know how close this was to happening, if it was at all.
Yeah.
Meaning OU Texas to the Big Ten.
Well, and I mean,
because money-wise, the last year or two, the Big Ten's making more money than the SEC is per school. Now, that'll change once this new deal kicks in on both sides. But I think outside of the cultural differences, I mean, the fit culturally seems much better in the SEC just because those,
for Oklahoma
and Texas.
the cultural fit is much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the cultural fit for USC and UCLA is definitely the Big Ten. Honestly, probably more than the Pac-12.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
You know,
Well, football-wise, for sure.
they're elitist jerks. Come on.
And but they actually do support and care about football if they're good. And that can't be said in a lot of other places on the West Coast.
Yeah. If they're good, because if they're not, nobody cares what USC's doing.
That's correct. Are you so in either one of your minds? Do you kind of think to yourself, "God, I wish it was the Big Ten"? Or are you both
I'm
happy with that it's
very
the SEC?
happy with the SEC.
I'm
Very
happy
much
with
so.
the SEC because I'd rather see every other Saturday whenever a home game that features a Georgia or a Florida over, say, Penn State or Wisconsin. That gets me more.
I look much
Does that
more
make
forward.
sense?
I look much more forward to tailgating at Ole Miss
Well, there's that
than
too.
freezing to death
There's absolutely that too.
at Ohio State.
Yeah. Rather go down south in November than go up north in November.
Exactly.
I'm with you on that one too.
The Grove.
Yeah. That's
Not even Jack Christie can run. We got a text message that said Brandon Culver could.
You know, that was on my mind, on the tip of my tongue. Almost said it.
maybe ride a bike.
I saw him yesterday.
There
We need to get him back in here. Didn't he just
Said-
finish another
yeah,
one?
He just finished one. His 10th is done. He's got 2 more this year.
Wow.
One in September, one in October. At that point, he qualifies to go to Kona, which was his goal starting this thing out. And so that will be a year in October. So October of 24. And he's going to do one more in between there. I asked him about this one at Tulsa. Because he had just come off of that Tulsa one when he was in here a couple years ago. I guess last year. And he said, yeah, this is I used it more of testing to make sure. I'm like,
testing.
like what?
Make sure you can actually do it, or
Just kind of,
So you want to hear my running career?
yes.
Okay. It's a great story.
be pretty short, I guess.
Actually told
Is it over?
told my trainer this story the other day. So several years ago,
My trainer. You
Melissa
talk about being a
comes to me,
yuppie elitist. I got a
and,
trainer. Sorry.
Is it in Clinton?
hey, just like I told you before, man, I'm married at 10. I'm trying to stay at a 6, man.
Just trying to get above 5. Yeah.
Come on.
I hear ya.
So, anyway, several years ago, Melissa comes to me. She says, Scott, I just have no desire to run. I don't know what's wrong with me. If you'll sign up for the Memorial Marathon, do the half with me. Just do the half with me, and it'll give me a reason to train. It'll give me. And so I said no. And so, like a week later, she just kept softening me up, and working on me. And so a week later, I said, okay, let's do it. So for like 6 months, we're training and training and training. And I go out one day and I run 9 miles. And I thought I was dying. I'm 2:20 running 9 miles at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I come home, and on the news it says the memorial will be canceled due to COVID. And I looked at Melissa and I said, I will never run another mile. And I have not.
And you haven't. That's
not
it.
run a mile since then.
What bad luck.
man.
So bad.
Ah.
9 miles. This is no kidding. It was that very day that I got home, and that was on the news.
Because my wife runs all the time and has done that race a time or two. And she says, yeah, once you get to that 9 mile, if you can make that, you can absolutely run the whole thing, the half. You're there. Your training is complete.
It was awful.
What a tough break.
Yeah, it was terrible.
What do you got? What do you got planned this weekend?
Hey, first of all,
ahead.
you said that we were going to get to talk about food.
Okay,
Well, we're getting there. Yeah. What's your plans
Did you
this
see
weekend?
my sandwich that I made?
I
the
did
other
see
day?
that sandwich.
Nothing?
I don't even know what was on there.
Oh, my God.
Tell everybody what it
Okay.
was.
Fried some bacon. Okay. Well, first of all, you got to start with the bun. It had a nice jalapeno Kaiser roll.
And it kind of looked like you buttered that up and put it in it, so it looked like it.
Put it in the oven, buttered
Yeah.
it up, put it in the oven. Fried some bacon. Got a couple of pieces of breaded chicken. Fried them in the bacon grease.
Yes.
And then put them in some buffalo sauce and threw them on there. 2 fried eggs, cheddar cheese, and I put a little cherry jelly on top. Yeah.
Today on Diners, Drive-Ins, we going out to Western Oklahoma to a guy named Scotty G's.
No, trust me, it looked like when you see the sandwich, it looked like you'd have to do the hunch.
Oh, you did.
That guy is famous
And
for.
I'd already smashed it.
Before you took the picture?
Yeah, because it's had that egg,
Yeah.
had the runny egg out
Yeah,
on
it
the
did.
side there. Yeah,
What's on Facebook?
it was. Yeah,
Go ahead and
yeah.
Google
It's
it.
fantastic.
It looked good.
It was like vacation for lunch that day. I don't know why my cholesterol's high.
Well, I mean,
You don't know why, dude.
it was baller move.
We have evidence.
It was a baller move to fry the chicken in the bacon grease.
Hey, that was a really great move.
Yes, it was.
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
What? So you got anything planned for the weekend?
No plans for the weekend. Would have liked to have gone to a lake or done something like that, but as you said, looks like it's going to rain every single day of the weekend, all the way around us. So we're just going to stay home, probably fire up the grill a couple of days, and enjoy the backyard, I guess. I'm sure Melissa will find plenty of stuff for me to do around the house.
I'm guessing that's probably true.
Yeah.
In between the rain, in between the rain showers, get out there and clean something up.
There you go.
So you thinking burgers? You thinking what are you thinking here?
Well, I actually still have a couple of really good-looking steaks that I've been saving for a special occasion.
Saving for a rainy
So,
day.
Yeah. Yeah. Inch and a
Perfect.
half.
Oh.
I don't know what's wrong with these people that get their steaks cut, like 3/4 of an inch or something like that.
I don't understand it either.
Yeah. They probably put ketchup on it, too.
Yeah, cook it medium well.
Yeah. You don't do that, do you,
No,
Jerry?
no.
Oh,
Why'd you look at
okay.
me when you said that? I
Okay.
like mine medium rare.
Okay. All right.
That's right.
Maybe
I was
rare.
afraid we were gonna have to kick him off the show.
I
Are you
know.
kidding? No, ask my wife. I have to. I'm the only one who likes it, but
Oh, no.
and I let it set just for a little bit to,
Oh, you got to give
then-
it 5 minutes. To,
Yeah.
Yeah, let it
Yeah.
settle.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what do you got
No.
going on? You got a couple of those ready to go?
No, not yet. I've just during this conversation, it occurred to me we have no plans on Monday. So I text my wife, "What are we doing for food on Monday?" But Sunday we're going to be out of town. But Monday we're not doing anything. So I'll come up with something. Probably something on the flat grill again. I'm addicted to that thing. Probably might do some.
Blackstone.
Yeah, Blackstone. Yeah, on the flat. Yeah, might
Yeah.
do some steaks on it. I've done that before, and it came out really well. But I've had the urge to smoke something. I got all day Monday to do
I
that.
might smoke a brisket one more day. Like every time I smoke a brisket, I'm a little bit more satisfied.
Yeah. You got to
it's-
be
it's-
patient.
Yeah,
You have to be patient.
It's not easy.
I've got
It didn't look like Lincoln Riley's. My brisket has never looked like Lincoln Riley's.
well, that's good. That's
I've got a big bad Tucker family beef whole brisket. We've never had one kept whole.
Yeah.
We've chopped part of it up and put it into the hamburger meat and stuff, but I got a big bad boy. At some point is going to go onto the smoker. I cannot wait.
I'm
You
very.
like how it says at some point, so that there's no chance of us trying to swing by the house.
Oh no! That's not what I'm saying. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. Sam wants to know since you're going to be out of town. Well, you're going to be out of town on Sunday, but he's wondering if there's any Chick-fil-A in your future.
Probably not. It's just not going to happen. But we're going to Dunkin', so I'm hoping to go to Dunkin' Donuts. What?
Step break for you.
I don't get the joke. What am I missing? Did I
Oh.
forget a joke or something?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. I might get. It's my anniversary on Saturday. 6 years. And there's a Chick-fil-A right
6
down the
years.
street from the place we're staying in Mustang. So
There you go.
There you go.
I will reveal. So I'm one of those guys, and you seem like this type of guy too, just knowing you. So I know what the 6-year anniversary is, and so I get a present. So it's iron for 6 years. So I get, something made out of iron. And the last time I tried this, it was a complete flop because it was just cheap made terribleness. So I'm hoping what I bought isn't cheap because it's a cool gift.
All right.
And I'll tell you what it was. On Tuesday, be listening, and I'll tell you
So-
if it worked
so-
out or not.
For the paper anniversary, you know what Melissa got me?
What?
I got to brag on her here. This is impressive. First edition book of The Godfather.
Whoa, that's cool.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
That is very good.
course, 23 years she hadn't topped it. She's going to have to step it
I was
up.
about to say, how do you top that? You got to start low.
Yeah. I figured that one out pretty quick.
Can't
You
swing
start up here, it's hard to get back. It's hard to get there. All right, what's going on down at Garrison Financial?
Oh, just come on down. Let's sit down. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your finances, your risk aversion, what you're comfortable with, and let's talk about how we're going to navigate this market. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I don't think that craziness is ending anytime soon.
I don't think it's going to.
With an election coming up next year and the build up to that, volatile is what I would say.
Yeah, just a touch, just a touch.
All right, Scott
All
at
right.
Soonerwealth.com is his email. 124 North Main is his address. We'll continue to tell you all about Garrison Financial as we move along throughout the show. Coming up, sports. Skitty on Sports right here on the Sports Animal. By the way, I want to hear what's on your menu this weekend. It's Memorial Day. What are you cooking? We'll be back right here on 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal.
Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.
The Skinny on Sports.
We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, we're
We're gonna talk right now,
Let's
Jared.
talk about what we were talking about earlier on the
Skinny
air.
on Sports, 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal. It's Garrison Financial Friday. Scott was just in here hanging out. Man, he can do it all. Full financial planning for you. He'll shop the open market to bring you the best value on your life insurance and your investments. Scott at Soonerwealth.com is his email. 124 North Main Street is his address. Give him a visit. Shoot him an email to get set up because it's the wild west out there in the financial markets with everything that's going on around the country. All right, Jared, I'm going to give you an opportunity to right what looks like it's going to be a wrong.
Okay,
I will give you the opportunity
I like second chances.
to back out
No.
of our 2-for-1
Nope.
bet
Nope.
right now,
Not gonna
and
happen.
you'll have to give me one breakfast burrito.
You want to? Oh, so back out, and I just owe you a breakfast burrito.
You just owe me one instead of the two you're going to owe me when Boston comes back to win this series.
Nah,
You're going to stay the course.
staying on it, man.
It's amazing
They're
how
gonna go home. Miami's gonna go home and end this thing.
it's amazing how much different this series looks from the second half of Game 4 till now.
Really does.
You know, Miami got off to a good start in Game 4 at home, trying to close out the sweep. Looked like, you know, with Game 3, the blowout that was in Boston, and man, all of a sudden, it just seems like the Celtics found something. And here's what they found. They started finding the bottom of the net, shooting threes. The last two games, they've just poured them in at such a high rate. They were 18 of 40% in Game 4, making 18 of them. Last night, 41%, knocking down 16 of 39. Is it just that simple that Boston's making shots now and they weren't to start the series?
Well, sometimes that's how simple basketball can be. You just start hitting your shots, and you see what happens. It could be just that simple. So on that note, Miami maybe needs to change what they're doing defensively. Is that too dramatic to say?
You know, they talked last night, and they're to start the second quarter or so, Miami went to a zone. And I think it was Jaylen Brown made a three from the left wing. And as they're running back the other way, I think it was Reggie Miller that said that's in the first 4 games and a quarter and a half or whatever it was, that's the first 3 that Boston had made against the zone in the series. That is incredible.
That is incredible. So they are clearly shooting it better without looking at box scores comparing it.
Well,
it just feels like they're shooting it better, right?
Yeah, 16 of 39 last night from 3. Game 4 was even – they made 14 of them. I'm sorry, 18 of them. 18 of 45, which is dead 40%. Then you go back and look at the losses. It's not anything near that. 11 of 42 in the Game 3 blowout loss, 26%. In the Game 2 loss, they were 28% at 10 of 35. So it may just simply be that in these last 2 games, Boston's kind of found the range from outside.
Yeah.
Now, there's been a lot of love for Eric Spoelstra, and rightfully so. Listen, the dude is a Hall of Fame type coach.
Never thought I'd hear that.
I mean, think about when
he
like
was
the first year with LeBron in there.
I thought this guy's just a patsy. He's going to be fired when they don't win enough because blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, now he's –
But I agree with it. But
Yeah.
back then I never thought
So,
Hall of Fame coach.
having said that, how much shine is taken off of him if he's the first coach to blow a 3-0 lead?
That's a good one. That's a real good one. Yeah.
Or
let's just – I mean, it goes back to what we just said. If the adjustments don't happen – I mean, you got to look at the X's and O's and the intangibles. If he doesn't make some changes – now, you can't put the fault on him if, say, Miami just – if the players – if Butler goes out and everyone else just plays bad. I mean, he can't shoot it for him. So, he can't play defense for him. But if he doesn't make some – adjustments or makes questionable adjustments that's allowing Boston to have success, then it could fall on them a little bit. But I see where you're going. I mean, 3-0 and you lose it. If they lose it, everyone starts to look at the coach. Sure,
and to be
which
quite,
isn't like I just said.
I don't think it's fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
I don't think it's fair.
No, I agree.
I don't think it's fair at all. You know why? Because his team isn't as good.
Right. This is an 8 seed. We got to keep telling ourselves that.
It doesn't seem like it because they took the 3-0 lead here, but it is. It's an 8 seed. And Hero's not playing, although apparently if they make the finals, he might be able to get there. Well, last night, some dude named Gabe Vincent, who's just been awesome in this series, he didn't play. So, the injuries are on the side of Boston. But Scott is right on the text line. It's the Jimmies and the Joes, and that's what I've said from the very beginning of the series. I just will not believe that Boston loses this series to Miami, no matter what it looks like, until it happens. Because Boston is clearly the better team. I don't think anybody in Miami would even argue that point.
No.
But the Heat, behind Jimmy Butler, and obviously Spoelstra, is able to push the right buttons in the first 3 games. I just wonder if they've kind of shot their shot, and now they're just hanging on for dear life. And the pressure clearly, in my mind, going into Saturday night, is squarely on the Miami Heat. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, in this series.
Of course, yes. I totally agree with that.
Because they know that they cannot go back. They sure don't want to try to go back to Boston and win a Game 7. Last night was just, from the very beginning, Boston was so much more aggressive. And, man, that looked like what I expected this series to look like going in.
Yeah.
The second half of Game 4, all of Game 5, Boston is just the better team. And we'll see if they're able to continue that roll or if Miami can kind of stem the tide one time at home and close them out on Saturday. Dallas wins in overtime, so they keep their series going with Vegas. It's really interesting. We almost had 2 sweeps in these conference finals. And outside of Game 3 in the West, when the Golden Knights scored 3 goals in the first period and ran away 4-0, for sweeps or possible sweeps, these series have been so close. You don't normally get to say that, right? On a time where you sweep somebody. But did you see that in the Carolina-Florida series, Florida had a 2-goal, or anybody, but it turned out it was Florida, had a 2-goal lead for exactly 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the entire series?
No.
So what I'm saying is that whole 4 games was played within a goal of each other. And it just so happened that Florida was the one to make the plays to win the games in overtime.
By the way, because you weren't here yesterday, what was your reaction to that goal with 4.3 seconds left? Did you see it live?
Yes, I did.
I did not. I regretfully did not.
I kind of forgot about the game happening, and then I was like, oh, man, I got to see where this is at.
I was just afraid it's going to go to 70 overtimes again. I wasn't ready to stay up that late.
Well, but you know what? It was a lot like that game that went to 4 overtimes, where you're kind of ready for it to, okay, it's going to be an overtime game, and then bam, the series is over this time. Whereas in the 4th overtime, down there under 30 seconds, preparing mentally, oh my gosh, a 5th overtime, am I going to be able to stay up for this? And then bam, that's what's so cool about it. In the hockey is, especially in those overtimes, or in this case, basically right down at the end. I mean, I think it was the second latest goal, game winner, series clincher ever in the NHL.
I didn't see that. That's awesome.
And they immediately kind of looked at it, and all the rules people agreed that a stick in between the guy's legs wasn't interfering. I have a problem with that. You put a stick in between my legs, it's going to be interfering with something. But
easy.
But apparently he didn't hook him, and they showed the back of the goal view, and he didn't hook his skate or anything, and everybody's like, oh, it's a good goal, and sure enough it was.
Do yourself a favor, go on your social medias and just look up the fans' videos. There's a ton of them. Just the fan reaction, no play-by-play, and it's awesome. It's what you love about sports. Everybody cheering for one thing, pulling on one rope. And I mean, there's one of them, the dude, he's like in the nosebleeds. He gets the goal, place is going crazy, horns are going off, and he kind of pans around. I mean, I swear I saw more than one grown man crying when they were just like freaking out and crying. It was awesome. Could you imagine we are, to an extent, emotionally attached to teams, right? Like, OU football or Big Oak football. I mean, but something that huge and it's hinging on one goal can change the entire outcome of a series. In this case, it happened with 4.3 seconds. Could you imagine the rush of emotion that you would have to deal with for the team that you love to do that? I guess it'd be the equivalent of, let's say, my Texas Rangers in the ALCS hitting a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th in Game 7. It's something like that. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome, and it's awesome to see it with a whole stadium just erupt like that. It's just so cool.
Yeah, those videos when you see them watching in the bars and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
just goes nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are always really cool. And you know what else is cool? The other side of it. To watch Carolina fans smashing TVs. The team that
we've seen that as Dallas Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
We've seen that too.
So the Stars win last night, 3-2 in overtime in the Western Conference Finals, still down 3-1 as that scene shifts back to L.A. Man, I got to tell you, I was so fired up in here on Monday to talk about Michael Block.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I'm a PGA pro, top 15, hit the hole-in-one, got up and down to qualify for the PGA again next year. And then, of course, the sponsors exemptions start rolling in. And he's playing at Colonial as we speak on a sponsors exemption.
Right. And we knew he's going to have all eyes on him, right?
Yeah, he's in kind of one of those marquee pairings with Pearson Coody, a former Longhorn. People are excited about on the tour. But not only that, then he's on Good Morning America. He's on all these podcasts, golf podcasts. Did you see what he said?
No, I didn't.
It was Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. I see this podcast, and he's on there with a Golf Writer and whatnot. And he says, if I had Rory McIlroy's length, I would be one of the best players in the world. And when I saw that and I read that, I thought, oh, no. Oh, this didn't take long. Has fame already corrupted Michael Block? And so I'm going to tell you, Jared, as cool as it was last weekend, and it was cool, I'm not taking anything away from last weekend. It didn't hurt my feelings to watch him completely combust to an 11/81 and set 120 out of 120 at Colonial this week.
Yeah, nice story for 1 week.
I mean, that's just absurd for him to say that.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
like
almost the equivalent of, do you know who I am? You know what I mean? I get pulled by a cop. Do you know who I am?
yeah, I just
Let's
see what he is right now. I mean, he hit the shot off the cart path. That was pretty cool. See that?
No.
So his tee shot on number 10, par 4. It's kind of a layup hole, really.
Yeah.
He hits it just a little bit right, and it bounces onto the cart path, and it rolls onto this bridge. Well, the bridge is in the hazard, so he can't drop it. So he had to hit it off of the bridge.
Off the bridge.
Yeah, and he almost hit it on the green, made par. I mean, that was cool. That was but for me,
I almost did that on 16 the other day here in Elk. I went to the right, and it. I didn't have much luck, though. It went in the water.
So, still he's even par through 3 holes today, 11 over, still DAL in the tournament.
Admittedly, I was not watching a lot of golf yesterday. I was watching, I don't know if you listened, I was watching UCO softball. UCO. They played, they're in I guess they call it the World Series. The Broncos?
Yeah.
Because my buddy's brother is an assistant on that team, and they're the 2 seed in that thing. So they played yesterday afternoon, so I had them on. They won 5-1.
So they're moving on.
Yep.
You know, that leads us to, I was going to talk about softball.
OSU got a big one last night.
Listen, I think we're headed, this is my prediction. This is my, we're going to have Bedlam in the finals.
Okay, so
we're going to have Bedlam in the finals of the College World Series.
I want to stop you right there because Jimmy, who helped me out yesterday, kind of said something similar. He already picked a final for the College World Series before any Super Regional started, and he picked Utah to be there with OU. So I got a burrito bet out of that deal.
Okay.
Like, you're picking a final?
Yeah.
Before a first pitch of a Super Regional has even begun.
No,
I'm talking to him.
Oh, him. Yeah.
So you're kind of doing that. I mean, you're going.
I think we're getting Bedlam, baby.
So we didn't really talk about the absence of UCLA, what that means. Is that great, make OU's chances better to go for a three-peat? Or does it taint it a little bit? Say, well, yeah, you want it, but UCLA wasn't there. I mean, what's that do for OU's mindset moving forward?
I don't
they're
know.
They're tough, potentially.
I don't think they think their toughest team is UCLA.
I think it's someone like
Oklahoma
State.
State.
Or Oklahoma State.
Because you know why? You want to know why I think that? I don't think Oklahoma State is scared of OU whatsoever.
No, even in that 3-game sweep, they showed that they were not scared.
That could have easily gone the other way.
Absolutely could have, but yeah.
For sure, a 2-1 OSU advantage. The third game, probably not. But the first 2, I mean, think about how that series started. OSU hits a 3-run bomb in the first inning at home, people going nuts. I have a feeling. Let me ask you this. Do you remember how this goes once they get to Oklahoma City?
How the format goes?
Yes. Is it pool play?
No.
So they could play for one of them to get into the final series, right? Essentially win the bracket, and then the other one have to turn around and beat somebody. Is that right?
Let me think.
So I know it starts
when they get to the champion. That's a best of 3.
Yeah. But how do you get there?
How do you get there? I believe it's as simple as double elimination. I'd have to look up an old bracket.
Okay, so what, like, the way it sets in there, Oklahoma, if seeds hold, let's say seeds hold here, Oklahoma would play Duke. Oklahoma State would play Florida State because they're the 6 and the 3. So that means they're on opposite sides of the bracket to begin with, right? Because 1-8-4-5 is on one side, 2-7-3-6 is on the other side. So as they move through, and let's say they win twice, well, that gets them to the last, you know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden there's nobody left in your bracket. So would they play? I can't remember how this works.
All right, let's look at it here. We have.
Is it like the Big 12 baseball tournament?
I
I don't think it is. I think they play. I think whoever wins that game is in the final series, and then the other one would have to turn around and beat.
There's little cross bracketing going on
once you lose,
because you have your. I'm looking at it here. Yeah, it does go off that seeding. What you're talking about,
right?
And you have your one, so call it bracket A, bracket B. But then if like a team in bracket B loses, they'll go up to like a losers, go up against a winner of a bracket A. You'd have to look at it. It's easier to look at than explain on air. But
where did you find it?
I just Googled NCAA softball 2022 bracket, just kind of get an idea of what last year's looked like. I actually got 2021, where James Madison beat Oklahoma. It gives you an idea, Anyways, but it is, the long and the short of it is, it's double elimination, then you get to the championship series, and it's best of 3. Your computer's a lot faster than mine.
Well, this isn't working. What I went to, I'm looking at the one today.
But it does go off of those national seedings.
Yeah, I knew it started that way.
It does go off of that, how that
But then once you
seeded out, yeah.
Once you get going into the World Series, I knew if you lost here, you went down here and that kind of thing. But as far as just the winners, okay, they wouldn't play.
Based on their seeding?
They would not play if they both won. One out. Because there is 2 separate brackets.
They wouldn't see each other before a finals.
That's correct. That's correct.
Which is great. That's what we want.
That's right. So as you move along, that's where you start getting the losers from the other bracket into your bracket. You know what I'm saying? And then moving forward.
You know what's up at stake tonight for OU?
The all-time longest win streak.
Yeah. If they were to sweep Clemson with the 2-game win, they own the record. I wonder how much they're talking about that, how much that's on their mind. That pressure.
Yeah.
To keep that, to get that. That's going to be a thing. And Clemson, I forget her name, but by statistics, has the best hitter in this series.
Is it Cagle?
Something like that. But if you were to rank them like 1 through 10 or top 10 hitters in this series, it's her, and then everyone else is OU. 2 through 9 is OU. But she's one you got to keep an eye on, and then of course that streak we're talking about. And like you said, OSU got that win last night, which was big. Worried about I mentioned this yesterday. Oregon coming from the Northwest. Well, the idea was thinking, all right, let's send them. They're coming to Stillwater in late May, where it's gonna be hot and dry. No, it's actually more like Oregon weather down here right now.
It finally got warm yesterday afternoon.
Kudos Oklahoma State. They made quick work of them, it looked like, and got a chance to wrap it up today and punch their ticket. So I am hoping for it. I'm hoping for a Bedlam final in Oklahoma City. It would be rocking, hottest ticket in town.
I think it's happening.
Rocking.
I think it's happening.
Hey, listen, I hope it does. I'm just not ready to go that far out and say it's going to happen immediately. I like to see how this all shakes out. What's funny is like, who's going to be with OU in the final? That's what everyone's saying.
I would watch out for what's coming this week.
With Clemson?
I think Clemson's pretty good.
Well, so do their fans.
But that's a certain level of good that may be different than what they're about to play.
Be good. They're going up against great.
Oklahoma Christian is, speaking of the Division II, they're playing in the men's golf final right now against Nova Southeastern.
That is funny. That's who UCO played in
is it really?
softball yesterday.
Huh. And so here's how this works. It's a medal match play. So everybody's used to know, you watch the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup or what have you, and you have match play, which is it goes hole by hole, but if you win the hole, you're up 1. In the medal match play, you go hole by hole, but if, let's say, you make a 4 and I make a 6, you go up 2.
No.
So it's a little bit. It's going to be more back and forth, because if you've got a 3-up lead with 4 holes to go, you're in pretty good shape. Maybe not as much in this though, because one bad hole, instead of just losing a hole, you lose those shots, and next thing you know, it can be this thing can flip around. So I'm really interested to see how this turns out, or what it looks like throughout the day. They're like 5 holes in on the last match, 8 holes in on the first match. Oklahoma Christian is up in 2, tied in 1, down in 1 and tied in 2 for the Division II Men's Golf Championship in Warren, Ohio. Also, the Sooners teed off already this morning out at Grayhawk, Scottsdale, in the men's national tournament. Sooners struggling early on, as you've got 4 of the 5 guys over par. Only Drew Goodman with a par and a birdie. It's early, but not the greatest of starts for Oklahoma out at the national tournament, as OU's been a fixture in that final 8 match play situation for the past half decade at least. So we'll see how that shakes out for OU men's golf. And, of course, Bedlam baseball number 6. You think Sooners have to win to get into the tournament?
Or
did the first win get them there?
The first one got them in. I've heard that. I heard that going into that game, was that they have to get that opening round win, and they'll get them in the tournament. It would have 100% solidified it, with no doubt, if they would have not blown a 5-0 lead last night. And that was a heartbreaker going into the 9th with the lead. But and I mean, I was starting to jump on that bandwagon. I kind of hinted at it yesterday and talking with my guys yesterday when that game was happening. Thinking, are we about to see a repeat again? Is this just going to be the staple of a Skip Johnson team, is just kind of coast through the season and then turn it on in the playoffs, get healthy enough for the playoffs and make a run at it? Almost was ready to really buckle my seatbelt on that bandwagon last night if they were to win that game. But back to reality, they're still mediocre at best, very young team. We'll see what happens today. OSU's they kind of toyed around, but that was a big win against West Virginia. That's a West Virginia team that's pretty dang good. And they knocked them out of the tournament, so maybe that rights the ship for OSU. And on OSU side, if they can make a run at this tournament, they have a chance to host, right?
Yeah, host a regional, maybe not get to a national seed.
Did that loss hurt them?
If you win the tournament, no. I don't think so.
No. But the Bedlam, if they lose today, will that...
Yeah, today knocks them out of a national seed, or at least to host next week, or the Super Regional week.
Right.
I still think they will.
Think they already host a Super Regional regardless of what happens?
No. I think they'll host a regional.
I'm in a regional. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do think they'll host a regional. They'll be right there toward the end, but I don't think I think they'd have to win it and probably have to beat the right teams to get all the way up to a Super Regional host. Bedlam number 6. OSU's 3-2 so far in those Bedlams. It looks, Oklahoma they've got to be kicking themselves. Up 5-0, 9-5 in the 7th, and even a 2-run lead going into the 9th, and just could not hold it.
I fail to realize, I'm not injecting excuses, but I fail to realize that was a young team last year. They're still fairly young this year. Speakerman's a sophomore, right? Without looking at a roster. There's a lot of young pieces of this, and they were kind of limping in throughout the season. But it felt like at the end of the I know Gonzaga's nothing in baseball. I don't know anything about them. They would go up there and Spokane and sweep them. And they played
swept Texas, but then got swept by Kansas State.
Yeah, so you just that's a mixed bag. That's what you get from a young, talented team. And when they can grow older, and you'd hope that they stay there, you never know in the portal age. And Johnson's a good coach, but last night, missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Should have closed that one out.
Yeah, you guarantee yourself a spot in the tournament with the win last night.
Yep.
And then, one win away from playing for the Big 12 title again down there in Globe Life. Instead, I think it's going to be awful tough for OU to bounce back after that loss.
I would be shocked if they win tonight.
Yeah, I kind of would too. Feels like OSU may pound them like they have a couple of times this season. We'll be back to wrap it up right here on the Garrison Financial Friday.
Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.
The Skinny on Sports.
Welcome back. Skinny on Sports, 98.1 FM, the sports animal, wrapping it up here on a Garrison Financial Friday. Memorial Day weekend. That means no show on Monday. We'll be back on Tuesday. College World Series, Women's College World Series field should be set. We'll know kind of what be looking ahead at who plays who and who makes it through on the weekend. Also, we'll know who's in the NBA Finals because a potential Game 7 would be on Memorial Day. Then the finals will start a week from yesterday on that Thursday, June the 1st. So a lot of things rolling through here over the Memorial Day weekend, but the most important one is do you have weekend plans outside of softball?
No. That's the plan. We were going to do possibly softball related stuff on Saturday, but we decided let's take a break. So nothing's happening on Saturday. And again, that's the plan. I plan on working on my golf cart. I plan on getting in the yard, hoping it's not raining. And Sunday we'll be out of town, and then Monday, like I said earlier, just hope to cook something and just relax. I do plan on going watching other kids play. They always come and watch our kids. I'm gonna go watch their kids play on Monday night. They're still having some ball games over here on Monday night, if I'm not mistaken. So, how about you? Going anywhere?
Yeah, Mustang.
That's right.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So no cooking for me.
Is this baseball related?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep, totally baseball related. No grilling for me. I guess maybe there'd be an outside chance depending on what happens. But here's the deal: I think if White and them play good on Monday, they'll still be in Mustang. If they don't, yeah, they got games on Monday.
I was wondering
Monday night. So
they're supposed to play. Yeah.
So that could happen as well. So I guess that kind of takes me out of the grilling, which is a little bit sad. But it is what it is.
Well, I mean, it's Memorial Day in baseball. What's more American than that? I know you'd like to grill, but
a grilled hamburger.
You can get that out there. They doing pretty good out there.
Yeah, that's true.
They do.
Anybody else? Anybody out there? What's on y'all's menu? What do you got? What do you got on your Memorial Day weekend menu? I'm going to miss the Memorial Day golf tournament on Monday. It's always a fun time to see some veterans, and it's you thank them for their service, and they always say this day isn't about us. It's about those that aren't here, which I get. I mean, I totally get it, but at the same time, still appreciative of those that fought and made it back, just as we are the ones that fought and didn't. So, it's a holiday, and it's almost in a lot of ways it's kind of a somber holiday because of what it means, and quite frankly, how the direction of this country right now and the lack of respect that a lot of people give to those folks that not only went over and fought and made it back, but the ones that didn't either. And so that's where this holiday, I think it starts to, at least in my mind, it's kind of gone up the list of my favorite / most important holidays because of the respect that those folks should earn, that maybe they're not right now.
Right.
So, with that, yeah, well, guess we'll be here Tuesday.
That's right. Well, have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
I guess tell us what you ate on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Yeah. Tell us what your menu was on Tuesday, because we will not be here on a Monday. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll be back to talk about all the things that happen on Tuesday. Spin the Skinny on Sports right here on The Sports Animal.
You've been listening to the Skinny on Sports podcast with Aaron Cow. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to get alerts of when the latest podcast is available. Thanks for listening.
That ball is blistered to right. Way back. Goodbye.
Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.